Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's a little different because we're in City Skylines, the OG #1 version, not the City Skylines 2, that's a pretty shit game. But I'm basically wanting to show you around my city, which I kind of spent probably more than 800 hours on. Okay, 800 hours, not really building stuff, just, chill in on the city. But I basically just want to show you around the city that I've worked on for a very long time because I think it's a pretty dope city. Now, I am no architect, I'm just a bored 15-year-old, so don't shame me for any of the decisions I ever make in my life. So, over here is what I consider the downtown region. Now, that's completely not true at all, because downtown, instead of being filled with offices, is filled by mostly residential districts, and that's because this is where I started the entire city, this exact spot. Now, by the way, the map that I'm playing on is a custom map from the workshop. I think it was called Denver, or something like that. It used to have the Boral theme, but I changed it to Temperate because I don't like Boral very much at all. And we'll just... actually. Too dark. But basically, this is the first kind of area that I've worked on. It's the downtown area. There's a lot of tall high-rises here, and that's because City Skylines definitely favors you to build a bunch of residential before you build anything else. So that's why, whenever you start a city, really, you always start off with the high-density residential buildings first. Now, this is also the time when I just recently got the Sustainable Green Energy DLC, whatever it's called, that basically gives you these houses that are sustainable, which is cool, I guess. So that's why this entire city is mainly littered with these sustainable houses. There's some districts, like that one over there, that aren't sustainable houses, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, this one is an example of sustainable housing. So yeah, over here is the first road I built off on. And by the way, this highway was actually me building it. Originally, this is the original interchange, and it kind of just ended there. So I extended it a little bit, and this is the first main road I built, which is, yes, I do name roads. Ignore it. But yeah, this is the first little area built on. You can just see parts of it is not district correctly, so it's a little weird. And also, I put a bunch of districts down in just this one area alone. You can see there's like 15. And the reason is because I didn't actually realize you actually had to put the sustainable housing as a district. You can't just set the entire map to be sustainable housing. So that's why I had to put a bunch of districts in. I didn't really know what I was doing. This top part is technically called downtown because there's like 15 metro stations. We've got this one downtown, the downtown, there's another downtown here, and I think there's one more. Never mind, there's only 3. There's 3 downtown stations that all just congregate up against this one tiny little corner that's only filled with residential buildings and this hospital. So that's cool. After this massive splodge of high residential, you get this low residential, which is kind of an oxymoron in my opinion, because you get this chill houses here right next to this massive high rises. Like, especially if you go like in fucking first person camera, you can just see how intimidating it is to be here. It's like New York City, Manhattan, really. It is. There's so many tall buildings here, which is a little insane in my opinion. I didn't know what I was thinking. But over here, this is Poplar Square, which has the leisure, I think. Yeah, leisure and tourism. Okay, so you got the leisure one. That's why you get these nightclubs and stuff. After that, you get Holy Square, which is just this chill little district with just houses and purely houses. Mill Hills, tiny bit of shops. Washington Heights, which used to contain the prison, which used to be here, but no more. I moved it down all the way there. Washington Heights also, I forgot to actually do sustainable housing, so that's why all the houses here are not sustainable. These ones are because these are part of Hills, which are meant to be... because in Mill Hills I forgot to make it sustainable shops, so that's why all the shops here are just the normal ones. After that we get Birch District, which is just nothing. Again, it's mostly just shops and houses, nothing interesting. And Florence Hills, which is just this very last chimney here. You can see here, this is the old monorail that used to encircle downtown, because I also recently got the transport DLC. There used to be a couple stops here. It used to go from here, it used to go from downtown here It'll go through here, it'll pop up and go on this little tangent here to Poplar. It'll go down this road to South Popular, which is, yeah, cool station name. Go down through here to go to Pine District. Go turn here, over this little cool bridge I built, which I still kept because it looked kind of sick. Over to a station which is now gone, which was called Birch District. And then it goes on Dale Street, goes all the way up through here to another station which is now gone, which used to be called Washington Heights. And then it took a right through here and went all the way back here and joined up here again before it goes back to downtown. I demolished the thing because no one was riding it, and I really disliked how monorails looked on streets because it definitely ruins the aesthetics a lot. Oops. So yeah, that's the monorail gone. You can see here, this isn't the first ever city I built, it's like the third, but I used to play on the Nintendo Switch version, which was basically City Skylines, but since there's so little on it, they gave you free Snowfall DLC. Back in this Nintendo Switch version, you weren't able to put metro stations above ground. They had to be underground, so it was so cool being able to put these stations above ground. So that's why there's a little bit of that. And some water pumps here, and this cable car, which is brand new actually. Autumn District is the newest district by far, and it barely has anyone living in it because it's mainly stations, because this is technically the downtown station. I wish there was a thing called underground train stations, but unfortunately they don't exist. So yeah, I just crammed in a bunch here. This is new. This is like a couple of months ago I built this. Everything else here was built in 2021. After that though, we go to Fairview Farmlands, which is my sort of industrial thing. It used to only be about here, this big, and then I extended it to this piece of land. That's also why you get all the farms here and the rest here, just these warehouses. Because this is new area, which technically isn't zoned correctly to farm, so that's why they're all warehouses instead of actual farms. Because I built that. And after that, I built Marion Hills, which is probably the biggest district I have, except maybe these other ones up there. But this is one of the biggest districts I built. I don't know why, I just felt like it. Oh yeah, I'll tell you about the names of the districts, how I got them from. Pretty much every single district here in the downtown with just the default name. That one I just named the Fairview because it was a funny haha name, alliteration. Marion is a default name, and it contains the Winter Market, which is kind of cool. And it contains basically the downtown Extra Plus station, which is this massive 12 platform end of line station. I even got an extra platform here, just in case you felt like it. Now, since of that, I have so many bus lines that run through here. We'll talk about all the buses and all that at the end. I just want to talk about the districts and location first. So this is, yeah, Marion. It's a mix of offices to the south here, which is kinda counterintuitive, because wouldn't you want, like, I don't know, rich people to live on the coast and not these offices, but whatever. Houses there. A few shops that dot the main street here. More offices to the north here, and this little extension here, which is a different district called Marion Spit, which is more houses. This is more of a chill district where there's not really much going on, it's just these houses, because it's meant to be a quiet district. Until I built the harbour here, because it's the only spot I had free that connected up with the rest of the things. So that's why it's there. And then after I built all that, I built Linden. Now Linden, I think it may have been a default name, or I might have named it after a tree that exists in this game called the Young Linden, which is a default tree, I think. I don't know where it is. This one. Yep, there we go, Young Linden. And yeah, this is Linden. It's pretty basic, just houses and shops. It is the leisure thing again, so that's why there's a lot of leisure shops against these two blocks. And after that, I built Bedford Square. Now, Bedford Square is infamous because I literally forgot to I forgot to zone it as sustainable housing, which is why you get all this. I thought it was ugly, but then I actually realized that the default houses don't actually look too garbage. It actually looks not bad once they're leveled up. You get the ICA high school thing, which is cool. This aquarium is new. I rebuilt this entire section, this section used to just be these terrible looking default shops, which definitely gave this area a bad look. They demolished all that and built this aquarium because it looks cool. Oh yeah, and a car park. I'll rename it the Bedford Car Park, because it's a tourist attraction apparently. I also got Metro here. And And after that, I built High Park, with a lot of abandoned buildings, some reason. High Park is an interesting district. High Park is an interesting district because it's supposed to be a mostly residential district, but then I shoved in so many of these high-rises and it looks ugly now, so that's why I kind of treat High Park as a terrible, ugly-looking suburb. It's because of all these high-rises and not because of this one road, which we'll talk about later. After that, we built Cedar, which is an interesting district because it's just this crammed-in afterthought of a district. None of the houses are nicely flushed together, because this area here is bad because it kind of switches on the grid angle. Because you can see here, Marion Hills has its own grid, which just goes straight along the whole thing. But then, since the city border exists, I had to build along the city border, which now just looks. You can just see how the grid kind of clashes together, especially at Cedar, where you get these weird angles, to just the grid try to work with each other. That's why you get a lot of inefficient housing, which I just don't like. That's why I don't like Cedar very much. It's just there, so I can fill its space. It originally wasn't going to be a district. I was going to just put it under Bedford Park, but then I realized, wait, I didn't put it under sustainable housing, so that's why Cedar exists. After I built all this section up here, also there's pretty cool interchange, which we'll talk about later. It looks pretty sexy. I built East Sugadale, which is by far and also a massive district. I don't know which one's bigger, but this one has a bigger population of 9,000 to 7,000. This is East Sugadale. It's a massive district, mostly just houses, offices. In the middle here, there's like the downtown area. Some apartment buildings along the downtown area, and some here for some reason. Yeah, this is just an extension beyond here. The railway used to go all the way straight there, but I put a tunnel, because why not? Because level crossings on roads are terrible. And after East Sugadale, I built Concord. Now this area, Concord East, where it occupies here, this used to be an airport. And the airport was the default one. You know, the default, this tab that still exists for some reason. It was this one, this default airport. It's the tiny one, it's the one with one runway, and barely even exists at this point. It used to exist over here on this large little patch land, and I demolished it because we built the new one. I built the new one here with the airport DLC, but that's why there's a lot of apartments. But Concord is interesting because it has an extraordinarily high population because of just the amount of high rises there are. I don't know why I decided to pop in this many, but yeah, it's very daunting once you're here because there's just high rises everywhere. Like, oh my god, what the hell is this place? It's insane. But Concord exists, and then you just got the Concord East, South, and North, because why not? And then after that, I built Alder, which is an interesting district. Oh yeah, I forgot about how I named everything. Good. Linden was default, High Park default, Bedford is default, Cedar probably default. East Sugadale, this is infamous name. Back when I was in Byron Bay, there used to be a road and a suburb called E-Wingsdale. E-Wingsdale spelled like E-Wings, E-Wingsdale. But when I was dumb, I kind of thought that it was E-Swing-a-Dale. So that's why that came to fruition. And honestly, East Sugadale is a better name. It just sounds nicer. I got Concord from Concord Road in Sydney, no idea why, but Concord is a cool name because it's also the plane that went fast that no one cares about now. And we get Alder, which I named after the Alder tree, which is this one. It's one of them. The Alder tree exists somewhere in our hearts. Yep, here we go, Alder tree. But this used to be like a suburb that I would actually care about, but then I shoved it in with so many railways, like this station, there are more railways through here, and there's metro station that I kind of just left it to rot in its terrible state. Like, it's a very terrible district. You got abandoned buildings everywhere. This space is so badly spaced out. There's so much wasted space with this random interchange I built. It just looks ugly as a district, and I also didn't zone the things to be like the sustainable stores, so they're just these default ones that look really like they just look too old-fashioned in my opinion, and it's just a very crowded, very nothing district in my opinion. until you get to the east part. The east part is sort of better because it's just houses. Also, the monorail. There's a second part of the monorail which goes all the way to Prospect, which is the next district I built. And I also connected it up with Bedford Square. I think about these districts, they have very terrible connectivity with one another. And it's because, like, I just don't plan for the districts to connect with one another. The only connection between Alder and Prospect is just this one bridge that exists. Other than that, you go, that's a bus only, there, which goes to Orion, not Prospect. So yeah, terrible connectivity. Prospect's the next district. This is one of the best zoned out districts in my opinion. Literally just a grid with a very minimal amount of space that was wasted. Like, you can just see how well I zoned everything. Except like tiny spaces through here, but we'll ignore that. It's got this birthday plaza for the 8-year anniversary. Something like that. And there used to be a railway that went right through all this, but then I made it underground. This is the downtown area of Prospect. And after I built Prospect, I built Reeveside. Oh yeah, Prospect came from the name Prospect Highway down at Blacktown. No idea why, again, but Prospect's just a cool name, so that's why I kept it. Next I get Reeveside, which is just a name for Riverside, except Riverside sounds generic as fuck. So I went with Reeveside. And this is an interesting district because I kind of had a take. I'm just going to clear all these massive traffic. This was going to be like one of them districts, you know, those housing association things where it's like the entire neighborhood. All the houses look the same, and there's a homeowners association. Yeah, I live in one of them right now. But and this was a very hilly district. You can just see the elevation change from the top here all the way to the bottom. That's why I decided to get off the grid and just build it like on the wackiest angles it existed. I don't really like it anymore. Like, yeah, you can see like the houses, they're not bad, but they're also just crammed in afterthoughts. There's a lot of wasted space everywhere. So yeah, it's not the best district I built, but it's supposed to be a chill district. That's why there's no office. It's just shops and residential. The shops just go down here next to the riverside, and yeah, that's very much it to Reeveside. Just a chill district. Not really much going on. After that, though, I built the biggest district by far, Orion. Okay, not the biggest by area, but biggest by population. Never mind, it's East Sugadol beats it. This is one of the biggest ones. The reason why is because it's literally just an extension of Prospect. It's just the grid is on the exact same angle. No reason for me not to really just change anything. There's a lot of tall buildings here, just a lot of them stacked on this grid here for no reason. This is the main road. This is the stadium that exists that a lot of people go to for some reason. It's an alright stadium, except there's a tree in the middle of the way. Yeah. A car park here for some reason. I don't know when I built it someday. This tall building thing that exists for some reason. That's pretty much it to Orion. There's just a bunch of tall buildings. The big population. After that, I built more district. Now, this used to be an interesting district because back then I used to actually extend more district all the way out to here and have another district here, which is called HIT, but then that got corrupted in a save. I accidentally saved the city on top of that save, so I had to revert back into this smaller, much more smaller version of Moore District. There's not much in Moore District. That's the reason why. It's because I corrupted the save and there's not much to do, so I just put a bunch of houses and shops and that's pretty much it. After that, I built Forest Hills. Just houses. This is supposed to kind of mimic Reeveside, but instead it actually went on a grid, which doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. It's just this road cuts right through the middle of it. And after I built that, I built Anchor Square, which is just an extension of the older grid. Now, to get that, I had to build this massive road all the way up here, through here. Not much in Anchor Square, just a bunch of tall buildings there again. Some parks here, big parks. But I tried to build a roundabout here by making one-way streets. Yeah, it sort of works, but there's no point for building roundabouts in my opinion. There's the Opera House here, Mertney. I don't know how I got that name, but Mertney. And a bunch of car parks. I tried to make this pretty cool, and it actually works. Intersection where you use the right lane and you go through there, and then you turn right there. It's a cool intersection, which took a lot of time to refine, as you can see here. Took a lot of time to refine all down It does work. And that's pretty much it to Anchor Square. I also built this motorway here, right through. The only part I ever built a motorway was this connection from here. It used to just be a T interchange between there and there, but I extended it all the way before, so it ends there. And then after I built Anchor Square, nothing interesting there, I built Silverwater. Now Silverwater was just to completely smash on with the Homeowners Association, kinda. Just build it with whatever. No grid, just these streets that go wherever. Which I kind of heavily regret now, because there's so much wasted space everywhere. Like, I don't like it when this happens, because there's so much wasted space. Like, Forest Hills is just a much better district in my opinion, because less wasted space. I hate these type of roads because the roads just go wherever. Like, there's no straight road, you have to make a bunch of turns everywhere. There's only 2 entrances to this district, it's to this road and... So yeah, not a fan of this district, no offices again. It's supposed to mimic this little part of Moore District, which I built as a type of curvy HOA kind of houses with one access, because I had this extra piece of land and I didn't really feel like extending a grid. That's why that exists. Yeah. After that, I built Lilac. This is the last ever main district I built. It's an alright district. It has the science center and the art museum thing at a university and another high school. But the problem is, especially when you get down here, it gets so, the elevation changes so much that you get so much wasted space and you get these massive cliffs. They're fine, but again, they're not. It's not the neatest district I ever built. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Myrtle Park exists because it used to be a district that I was planning on building, but then I kind of gave up on it because I kind of just did, because there's nothing really else to put, just more houses. So I made it like a sort of industrial kind of district, like putting massive electricity and water tanks everywhere, and just making this district look like is kind of Myrtle Park is shit. So that's pretty much all the districts done. Oh yeah, we forgot about these ones. Amity Square is just Fairview Farmhouse, it's just more farms. Right next to the airport. This is the airport I built. This took a lot of refining and a lot of effort to make. If you're planning on buying the airport DLC for City Skylines, just note that it is a heckling to build an airport. It takes a couple hours to deal with it. But in my opinion, it's not that bad of an airport. But I don't really like this north section because the cliffs after flattened all this out. This is the landscape used to only go like. Hello? Hello? Udah, ya.
Ntar mami jemput, maybe ya you see my location lah, terus kita ambil flowernya dari depan rumah aja dan kita bawa ya.
Okay.
Ya?
Yeah.
Oke sayang, I'll see you soon.
Bye. Alright, that aside, yeah, it's this, the airport, we got 2 terminals, we got this massive first terminal with these roads, and then the second one over here, because this airport is so massive. It's pretty big. It kind of actually takes up like half the city. If you like compare it from there all the way to the rest, it kind of takes up a lot of space. After that, we got these last few districts. This is like the first. These are like the very far away districts. Like these are like holiday homes, really, pretty far away from the rest because, yeah, this is Hobbs Fishing Piers. It's kind of a I'll treat this district like shit because it kind of is a bit of an airport for no reason, which doesn't work anymore because I closed everything off. And yeah, you got a bunch of hotels here and a bunch of fishing piers because that's what it's named. And then you get here Point Bluebads, which is not a district I treat like shit. It's very empty, but then you got a couple of houses and you got the City Skylines 2 QR code there. And then after that we got Bunches Creek, which even less things in it. Just nothing. Literally nothing. Yeah, those are all the faraway districts. So, let's talk about how the transport works. So, the bus is the most popular here, and you can kind of tell, there is a lot. There's 136 bus lines, which is a lot, even enough to lag the game out so much that the audio starts to glitch out. There's a lot. Basically I'll talk about the buses. We'll go from line name. So Okay, whatever. The A here, all the A's that start at the front all go to the airport. After that, you get Hobbs Fishing Piers, Hobbs to ride. M1's just a monorail replacement. When I demolished the monorail in downtown, I just built a bus to replace the route. Point Blue Mountain to Bunches Creek is these two. We get the rail replacement buses. A little nod to how in Sydney, they have to get these buses whenever the train goes bus. So they put these buses. So I got these buses, which basically just mimic the route of a train. You get the T buses, which is a nod to the city's B line in the northern beaches. You get the double-decker buses. It's green instead of yellow because that's what I was feeling like. You get 4 of them. You get these X, which are like the express buses that go very far and go quickly. Got quite a few of them. Got 23 of them. What the fuck? And then after that, we get the normal buses, starting at 100. You know how like cities, they try to number their buses accordingly to where the location is, where the start is, where the end is. Fuck that logic. I literally just named it after sequential order. You get 100, you get 110, you get like, you know, it's just named by sequential order. And then you get the express buses, which is just the quicker version of these buses. There's actually a lot of them. I think it goes up to 175. So there are 75 lines of these buses. Gotta see just how many there are. There's 176, which doesn't include the express buses, so there's about 200. Actually, no, not 200, 100 bus lines like that. You get these school buses that no one cares about, and that's pretty much where you get on the buses. You can just see, like, if I open CSL map view, which we got later, it load. 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 Does it got like? Why does this come with lo-fi music? Help. CSL map view. You know, we go. Just ability, public route, numberings. Yeah, that's all the buses. The buses are highlighted in green, red, blue, and yellow. And yep, we got kind of a few bus lines actually. Just a few, not too many. Just a few. Just enough so that you cannot actually even see the map at that point. Which is funny. And then after you get the metro, which used to be popular but no more because of the buses. How to go everywhere. Some people actually still ride the metro. The metro is just a green one here that go on the metro tracks. Most of them are just the normal ones, except I built some express ones, which 16 and 17, I think. Yeah, that's one. Express and 17 also express. We can also look at. You can just see so many squiggly lines of metro. You get the train, which no one rides anymore. We kind of cut back now because there's only 11 lines. There used to be 20. I kind of cut back because I don't like trains a lot because just if there were underground train platforms which exist in the real world, then I would definitely get more trains running. But unfortunately, the metro kind of beats it. Wait, no, people actually ride the ferries for no reason. There's like 7 of them. 6 technically, for some reason. I don't name them because I don't care about the ferries very much, and they just go everywhere. We get I don't got blimps. Blimps are just, you don't need them. We got the monorail, which is the monorail that goes from the existing one that goes from downtown to Concord to here to Prospect, and then we get the cable car. There's only 2 of them, and the one here is the one that's popular. The one that goes from the downtown train platform all the way to Amelia Square, which is airport is, and after that you get the taxis, which yeah, you don't actually do anything with you can tell we don't import a lot of things. The land value, it's very expensive, so don't bother buying a house here. Noise pollution is actually surprisingly low. I did not realize that, but it's actually surprisingly low. I don't really know how because much everyone noisy. Yeah, it's actually quite low. And traffic is abysmal. It really is abysmal. Because of all the buses that like there's just way too many buses that try to get to the same bus stops. And the wind this is turbine. Everyone is healthy, everyone's dying, everyone's healthy, sort of. Couple of tourists. I have natural disasters turned off because I don't like them randomly happening. Yeah, that exists. Cool. That's the elevation. The elevation of this map, by the way, that I'm playing on is insane. It gets super, like, the elevation's difficult to actually play on. This is one of the hardest maps to play on. Like, yeah, it gives you a ton of natural resources. Like, you get massive oil field here, but then it's just so hilly to actually be able to build anything on. You get a massive oil patch here, which I built right on top of. Cool, good job, me. Built right on top of it. And you get just a bunch of farmland that's in the ocean for some reason. Don't know why, but yeah, that exists. But this map is hard to build on because of just how mountainous the terrain is. You just see how insane this terrain is. This road curving isn't from me, it's actually from the creator. I don't know why it curved. Yep, that exists. And it was especially hard to build an airport. I had to build a lot of it off the coast. I had to make new land because it's hard getting any flat land. You can see even on the here, it's just like so hilly. It's hard to build. The population is at 73,000, but it's hovering around. Not really that. Just hovering about that. Not really increasing. And I'm playing on infinite money because I hate dealing with money in general because it limits how well you kind of want to build your city. Like, yeah, we're negative 160,000. Yeah, that's kind of a lot, even though your city's supposed to be producing a lot of money from the amount of exports, but that's not happening. Fire safety, there's no pollution because everything's sustainable, and that's pretty much it to the city. Yeah, so that's the tour. It looks pretty dope. Spent a lot of time on it, so I hope you enjoy it. I don't really know what I should do for the outro.